98.1 Radio X.
À Québec.
Depuis 25 ans. Et pour encore longtemps, à Québec, c'est Radio X. Faites-vous votre propre opinion.
All right, Adam, Sam, and Casey from X Ambassadors. Welcome back to Quebec City, guys.
It's good to be back, man. Thank you.
In the past 10 years, you guys came a lot to Quebec City. The last time I saw you was in 2016 before Muse at the Videotron Center. Any good memories of our city?
Oh, so
Lots
many,
of good
man.
memories.
It's beautiful.
We've had
here.
so many good shows here, and we did, I believe, this festival a couple years ago. We did a headline show, and of course the Muse. We did 2 shows here, and it was negative 20 degrees, and we're in a parking lot outside of the city, so we didn't get to see it that time. But over the years, we've been back and just love the city. It's beautiful.
How was the pandemic for you guys?
I mean, crazy, man. I mean, just like for everybody, it was, claustrophobic, and you kind of go stir crazy, but then you sort of find yourself, and I don't know. It's just, it was wild. We did a lot of good songwriting and good, creative expression, but it was. I mean, it's wild, man. Like for everybody, it was hard.
We kept very busy.
Yeah, we did our best too.
Like the third album, The
Yeah,
Bad
like
Liar?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, something like that.
You guys choose a darker path? I don't know if you watch a lot of Star Wars.
It was a
it's
dark
good.
time, man.
Yeah, are you Sith or something? No, but how was the
I'm fucking sad. We're all sad.
It's a sad
No,
time,
but
man.
it's good. It's awesome. But
Thank you.
what was going through your mind doing this album?
I mean, I think for me the idea came from spending so much of my life feeling like I had to hold it together and not wanting to hold it together anymore. And seeing where that took me and seeing where that took us as a band. And it took us to some weird places. And I think the record turned out to be one of my favorite things that we've done, just because it felt so free, it felt so uninhibited, it felt, there's the same emotionality and the same vulnerability that we've always had, but then there are songs that are a bit angrier, songs that are a bit funnier, I was so glad to be able to kind of feel this freedom on this record. I think
Do you
we all
have
felt
more
that.
confidence as a band, or the chemistry, so you feel more free?
Yeah. We really took this whole project into our own hands, and we're able to we were able to micromanage it so much because of the time we had from the pandemic. So we were able to really make sure that all of the visuals were exactly how we wanted it to be, and then we made a companion podcast with the record. We really created this world for it that felt so fun and unlike anything we had done up until that point.
Yeah.
I want to go back in time. And when was the first moment when you were a child that I want to be a musician? I want to play music. I want to be in a band. I want to be. Did you went to see a show and you said I want to be like that on a stage?
I don't know. Casey, can you remember?
I mean, for me, it's weird. I think legit it was lunch times at school. There was a room, with the pianos and the drums and, some guitar amps and stuff. And I would just, I'd eat my lunch real quick and start going in there and playing. And it was just, other kids would, start coming in there too, and we'd be playing music together. It was the first time I'd ever played music with other people. And I think that was the moment where I was like, wow, it's like, you're communicating without any sort of language. It's like a whole nother level of communicating. And I was like, I've got to do more of this.
And that's what when you talked to your brother and said, let's do music
No,
together.
well,
Well,
He
no,
said he
for a
can't
long
be in
time.
the
Yeah,
band.
exactly. We were,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we're brothers. We didn't want to have anything to do with each other. So for the longest time, we had our own bands, we had our own project. It really wasn't until the end of high school that we were finally grudgingly okay, I guess we'll try to make some music together, kind of thing, and just haven't stopped since then. Yeah.
So what about you, Sam?
I mean, I've always wanted as much attention as I possibly could get. So I think, from the second I realized that bands existed and there were lead singers of bands, I probably thought that's what I wanted to do.
Right.
I was an actor for a while too, and still am. So that kind of, they both went hand in hand for me. Just being on a stage and performing for people and transforming myself and using my experiences as a human being and amplifying them on a bigger platform.
I do wrestling, so it's the exact same thing.
Oh, there you go. So you
I feel
understand.
like you. What about you, Adam?
I grew up with two older brothers who are like over 10 years older than me, who are both musicians. So just growing up in that kind of atmosphere, I was playing drums, sitting on a phone book when I was 3. So I wanted to just do whatever they did, and they were always in bands and playing music. And I think I just got more of a head start than they did, because there was never like a question of what I was interested in doing, or I've always been in bands and always wanted to make it a career. I didn't think it would work.
But now it does,
did.
yeah. You collaborate with a lot of guys like K-Flay, Imagine Dragons. You had a long story with Imagine Dragons, also with Eminem. So how was that adventure with Eminem?
I mean, honestly, very surreal. Just because we all loved Eminem when we were when we were kids.
We were all Slim Shadys.
Yeah, for sure. If I had the hair for it, I would have dyed my hair.
Yeah, I did, but it was more with
yeah.
Billy Idol style.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, that experience not only was surreal because of that, but also because we never really interacted in real life. It was all just kind of through other people emailing files back and forth. Yeah. I mean, it's incredibly cool, and we're so grateful for the opportunity. And at the time, it was unthinkable. It was very, very cool.
Thinking of an unthinkable, who you like to work with? Like from pop music, I don't know, Lady Gaga, Billie Eilish, or anyone.
Man.
Metallica, I don't know.
Well,
I mean, it's not exactly pop music, but Jean-Baptiste is one of my favorite artists, and I would kill to do a few sessions with him, man. That would be really cool.
What have I been listening to lately? Oh man, there's this new artist named Dijon who I really love.
Okay. I don't know.
Incredible singer, incredible just kind of producer and songwriter, and I love the vibe that he's created. I'd love to work with him at some point.
You, Adam?
I always have the same answer. I always say Trent Reznor from Nine Inch Nails.
Nine
We're
Inch
just,
Nails.
the biggest Nine Inch Nails fans, and also just fans of him as a producer.
Yeah.
He's just amazing.
Amazing.
Yeah.
What do you think of music in 2022? Do you think it's more easier to start a band or to sell music with the Spotify's, Amazon Music, and everything?
I mean, I think
it's just as hard, or it's
Yeah.
easier. It's easier to
Just different.
put things on the internet and release them yourself, compared to when you had to have a CD and a distributor and all that. But because it's so easy, it inherently makes it harder to stand out.
Yeah, I feel like the landscape has changed so much, but it's also all still the same. The same variables all still exist, timing and just circumstance. And I think the exciting thing that I see, I mean, there are so many more avenues for artists to be successful independently. And I think that there's this added layer, whereas before, to get to know a band, you would have to listen to a lot of interviews, or you'd have to, kind of dig and dig and dig. And now, because it's so much easier to show who you are to the whole world and to at least your fans.
Social media.
Yeah, for
Instagram,
sure,
Facebook,
Yeah, that has allowed this kind of added layer to come in. So when you're listening to someone's music, you're not just listening to the music, you're also knowing who made it. And knowing a bit more about who made it. Maybe not
behind the
maybe
scenes,
not
producers,
completely,
yeah.
because let's be honest. A lot of what we all put out into the internet is just one side of ourselves. It's not a complete picture, but it does give a little bit more context to the music. So I think that's really interesting.
Yeah.
Quick questions, guys, okay?
All right, rapid fire.
So the first thing that comes to your mind, we'll start with you, Casey.
Uh-oh.
Favorite song you're ashamed to love?
Oh man, the Top Gun theme. I kind of love that shit. Yeah, it's so epic.
It's a good one.
Yeah, man.
What about you, Sam?
That I'm ashamed to love. Beers on Me by Dierks Bentley
Nice.
and who else? Breland. There's another artist on it. Maybe Toby Keith. I don't know. It's a country
Okay.
song. It's great.
How about you, Adam?
Sam got me into country a little bit. What's the "Till You Can't" song?
Oh, Till You Can't. I have no problem.
No, I
singing
mean,
that
yeah.
song.
Honestly, I was
Amazing.
gonna say I have no shame in
I
this.
know. I really don't
love
have shame in
pop
any.
music.
Good. I love that. I love
Yeah.
that.
Oh yeah, man.
Till You
Favorite
Can't is so good.
I mean, yeah, that's not even
Yeah.
embarrassing.
Yeah.
favorite wrestler, Casey.
I don't know wrestling. I'm ashamed to say. I don't think I know a single one. I'm so sorry to disappoint you, man. Shit,
The Rock.
The Rock,
Oh, yeah,
of course,
sure.
The Rock.
Undertaker.
Ah,
there
good
you go.
one, good one. Was my favorite too. Favorite TV series?
Black Mirror, I think.
Yeah,
It's definitely
man,
one of the
this is
coolest.
so good, so scary at the same time.
Exactly.
The Wire.
Oh,
I don't know this
The
one.
Wire. It's
What?
Put it on my
That's a
checklist.
great
Oh,
one.
Gotta
You
watch
watch
that.
I'm ashamed
So
now.
good.
I'm ashamed.
So
You're,
good. You
you're
should watch
lucky
it. You're lucky.
because you get to experience it for the first
time.
time.
That's so
I'm
All
jealous.
right, I'll do it. I'll do
The
it.
Wire is amazing.
Favorite Metallica song? I'll start with you, Adam.
Oh.
What's the Fuel? Is it
Fuel?
off the record?
Give me Fuel, give me
Yeah.
Fuel.
what I was gonna say. That's like the only one I know.
That's
for
the
you?
one for me.
Man, I don't really know that many Metallica songs off the.
Okay, we're not gonna say that because Quebec loves
Yeah,
Metallica.
yeah,
It's okay.
That's awesome.
And favorite Jeep.
Favorite Jeep?
I mean, goes without saying, right?
I'm a Cherokee man myself.
I'm a Wrangler man.
Wrangler, Casey.
I can't drive. I'm blind.
But I wanted to talk about Renegade.
Oh,
yeah.
What's the story behind Jeep coming up with a brand Renegade and to associate that song with the Jeep a few years
The
ago?
brand and the car existed prior, and we just had this song that our producer kind of gave us the idea to write a song called Renegades, and we wrote it, and then it just so happened that Jeep was looking for somebody to partner with and on the campaign, and that's when we got pulled into it. It was either going to be that song or a cover of This Land Is Your Land,
yeah.
and they ended up going with Renegades. And
Yeah.
Thank God they
Oh,
did.
man, seriously.
Any hobbies? What do you guys do to chill out? Start
Man.
with you,
I mean,
Casey.
I hang out with my family. I got a wife and kids that I love
Yeah.
hanging with.
I cook a lot, smoke weed, drink.
Nice.
The normal stuff.
I play golf.
Yeah.
Nice. Nice.
That's my hobby.
Tonight you play before AJR. Do you guys know the trio?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
are?
was just hanging out with them
Yeah,
actually
just
a
hanging
few
out
minutes
with
ago.
Those guys,
Those guys are
fellow
awesome.
New Yorkers.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're fantastic. They're fantastic.
Yeah,
I love the theatricality specifically in a lot of their stuff.
man.
It's like I came from a musical theater background, and I feel like there's a lot of that infused in what they do. It's very cool.
And what can we expect from X Ambassadors in the next few years?
More music,
Yeah, we've
more
got a lot of
shows.
music. I mean, we've got a lot of music where we haven't released that we've written that we're really proud of. So there's going to be a lot, coming out in the future.
And hopefully some things that you don't expect.
Yeah,
you know?
that's the main
Nice.
thing. Yeah, we can't give it all away.
Yeah.
All right. So guys, have a great time tonight. Thanks for your time, and I hope to see you very soon in Quebec City.
Appreciate it. Thanks, man.
All right.